Hey friend, it's Brandon Gustafson. I help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. Excited to have you here on our live today. Today we're going to be talking about how to leverage private money to launch your assisted living business. This is a question that I actually see quite often with people in the group, and some of the most popular posts that we have on the group are around private money. And so I wanted to kind of give an overview of what that looks like, how it works, and how you can leverage that as you're getting into starting your assisted living business. So, while I am working on getting this thing posted to Facebook, just want to remind you to go and grab the business plan checklist. You can get that down below. We've got a ticker going. Just go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, and you can get access to that. Just a free resource to help you build a solid business plan that can help you on your journey to getting funding for your assisted living business. So excited to share that with you there. One last thing right here. Oops. Okay. And that is posted. Let's get over here and share screen. All right, so we're talking about leveraging private money for your assisted living business. Today, again, get over to assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, get access to your free business plan checklist. I also want to remind people, if you're watching this, we're doing a promotion right now on the Mastermind program. So if you want to apply to that, go to alimastermind.com/application. You can do that. It's about you save about $4,600. So it's the most affordable way for you to get like a full year of support from somebody that's actually done all of this. And I know I've talked with people about other programs and things that are out there that cost 35, 40, $50,000. I am much more affordable than that, and can really help you out. You get a lot of my time and attention there to give you some guidance to help you along your journey to launching your assisted living business. So if you'd like to check that out, go to alimastermind.com/application. Fill out the application. It's free. And if I feel like you're a good fit, I'll send you all the details. So go check that out. All right. For those of you that don't know me, who are new here, and why I'm qualified to teach you all of this stuff about assisted living and the mastermind program, and talk about leveraging private money. My name is Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate two assisted living businesses. I started that in 2020. I've secured over $1.5 million in SBA funding, so very familiar with that process. I operate my facilities out of state. I live in Utah, and one of my facilities is in Colorado, and the other one is in Idaho. So can kind of coach you through the process of how to or remotely operate or delegate a lot of the work that you need to do so that other people are doing it for you, and you can make this more passive. I also have a master's in healthcare administration. So I've worked in the healthcare industry for over a decade, spent a lot of money to get education on that as well, and just very familiar with the industry, with government programs, Medicare, Medicaid, and just kind of the process and rules and regulations that exist in the industry. So I've got a lot of experience there. So let's get into the topic today. Again, we're talking about private money. And for those of you that are new here, I'd love for you to type in newbie down below. It just helps me see how many people are new here. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about private money, then type that in as well. Just type in private money, and that will let me know that you're interested in this topic. And maybe I can find some people that can really help out in securing private money. Possibly bringing somebody onto the channel or something like that to give you some guidance. So let's start off here. What is private money? So private money is money that comes from individuals that have individuals, or could also be like entities that have funds available to them that they are willing to lend out to other people. They're willing to give it to other people, so that you can use those funds to do things. It's different from traditional loans, largely because you're dealing with a private person. They're going through a vetting process, but it's probably not going to be quite as in depth as you might see with like going through the SBA or going through a traditional or conventional mortgage, because of the amount of information they want to see. Private money lenders, in my experience, they're very interested in the ability of a deal to cash flow, and how it's going to work, and that they have some security in it. So they want to make sure that they are like in first position on the home, in case something defaults. That's kind of their collateral. Those are the big things that they want to see. They might want to look at some of your other details and things like that, but it is a little more streamlined and simplified process because you're working person to person, which is always helpful as you're trying to move things along there. As far as your loan terms, you could potentially find a private money lender that's going to give you money for a longer loan term, but oftentimes your loan terms are going to be for a short period of time when you're working with private money, 1 to 3 years. And the purpose with that is if you can't get the money from the SBA or from somewhere else for whatever reason, you can go to a private money lender and they will help you out for that 1 to 3 year period. Typically, you're going to have something like interest only payments, or maybe you are paying something beyond that. You just kind of negotiate that and can come to an agreement. And then you are going to refinance that into more stable or more traditional type of funding, whether that's a traditional mortgage, an SBA loan, some other type of loan that's out there. That's kind of the purpose of private money. It lets you get there. You can even piggyback private money into a bridge loan into something like a HUD loan, or an SBA loan or something like that, especially when you're in the assisted living world. So there's a lot of ways to get creative with the finances, and private money is a really nice way for you to quickly acquire these businesses. The other thing is, because their underwriting process is so much more streamlined, you can get access to those funds a little bit more quickly than you could otherwise. So you might be able to accelerate your ability to acquire facilities, acquire your businesses as you're moving through that process. You just want to keep in the back of your mind, this isn't a permanent funding solution. It's something that I need to make sure I'm very comfortable with the underwriting and the finances there, because if it doesn't go well, I've got to figure out a way to refinance that and figure something else out pretty quick. So that's something you want to just keep in mind, especially because sometimes these businesses, while assisted living can get up and be running and be profitable quickly, my facilities were profitable. They were um, generating profit definitely within the first year. Typically, I would say for mine, they were in about six months, maybe even faster for one of them. So you can do this quickly, but you want to make sure that you're comfortable that it can do it quickly before you jump in, because of the nature of this. You're probably going to need to refinance it into something else relatively quickly. So that's what private money is. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the details here with private money. Your interest rates are going to be subject to that private money lender and what they want to do. I've seen between 8 and 12%, but that's been a little bit of time since I was talking with private money lenders. So it just kind of depends on what type of returns they're trying to get, what they're able to do, and making things work on their side. So it's kind of up to negotiation, but oftentimes a private money lender will say our rates are X amount, and they won't budge on it. So you just need to have those conversations, figure out what it is, and then adjust that in your underwriting. So on my calculator, if you go to assistedlivinginvesting.net, there's actually a spot in there that is specific to private money, and once you figure out the loan amount and your interest and the terms on it, you can plug that in and it will tell you what your expected payment would be. So it's really helpful for that. The loan terms, like I mentioned, is going to likely be something that's like a 1 to 3 year period. It's all, again, subject to the private money lender and how they want to handle that. But my conversations with them are typically 1 to 3 years, and then you're going to refinance that into something else. Your loan to value, your LTV that you're looking with, I have seen, I have seen, depending on the project, I've seen like even 0% down, where they can fully collateralize a home. Oftentimes, you're probably looking at a very similar to a bank. 80, 85%. You might be able to get something that's a little bit better than that. It just kind of depends on the lender, what their requirements are, what they're comfortable with, and then the value that that real estate has. The more equity that exists in that property, the more confident they're going to feel in shrinking down that loan to value. They're also likely not going to be collateralizing other pieces of real estate. Private money lenders, they want to collateralize, they want to have that backup, but they're not necessarily looking like a bank is at doing like all of your properties and your retirement and the other thing. They want to just make sure that they are covered in the event that something happens, but they typically aren't that interested in like having their paws on every single thing, which can be beneficial as well. So that's kind of how that process works. As far as the securing the funds, you are going to need to do down payment, and then the funds will get deposited to you just like they would with a lender. Sometimes you may be able to get them to pay directly to the seller, but oftentimes it will be money that comes to you that then you are passed through, handing it off to the person that you're purchasing from. Just kind of depends on the structure of that. But those are kind of the details that you can just so you have an idea of exactly what the private money looks like and how that works. Now let's talk about finding private money lenders. So there's a lot of different types of private money lenders that are out there. It's kind of hard to know exactly which one you're looking for. You really want somebody that is going to deal in real estate, that is okay with it being real estate with a business attached to it, whether or not you're buying an existing facility with a business or you're buying a home to renovate to turn into a business. You want to find a private money lender that is comfortable with that. That's something that's really key. And there, from that point, there's also a bunch of different kinds of private money lenders. I don't want to kind of go through a list because I will probably forget them. But hard money lenders is definitely one that comes to mind. And I'm blanking on other ones right now. But there's a few different types of private money lenders that can get in there and help you out. Now, as far as finding them, you got to do networking. You got to go out there and you got to build relationships with people. Go to real estate meetups is a really good spot to do this at, because the type of private money lender you're looking at is somebody that is interested in real estate and willing to lend in that space. So you want to get out there. You want to have your elevator pitch. You want to be able to say who you are, what you're trying to do, how much money you need. You want to be able to answer that you want to state that, not answer. You want to state that in a 30 to 45-second elevator pitch. Practice it, get really good at it, so that when you go to these meetups and you're introducing yourself, you know, oh yeah, my name is Brandon. I really like real estate. I think it's cool. That's not going to go anywhere. But if you say, hey, my name's Brandon, I'm actually looking at getting into assisted living. I need $1 million for it. Do you know anybody that could help me acquire a business that would help me do that? Like that's a much different conversation. And then you might be talking to just like a general, you know, somebody that does multifamily or single family homes, and they say, oh, I can't help you out, but Bill over there, he's great at it. Or you could be talking to Bill directly, and he's like, yeah, actually, you know, that's what I do. Let's chat about this and let's see if we can make a deal. And if not, then I've got relationships. So that's the way that you can go into those scenarios. It can feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's why I say practice it, but go in with this elevator pitch. I am, you know, say your name, say what you do, what you're trying to get into. I'm interested in assisted living. I found this property. You know, say a little bit about that. I'm looking for, and then state what you're looking for. I need $1 million for this property. You want to say that. You want to practice it and get to the point where it just becomes second nature for you. And when you're in those networking situations, it just makes things go a lot more smoothly. Okay, so you want to introduce yourself that way. You don't have to talk about that the entire time, but if you introduce yourself that way and people see who you are, it's going to just make it a little bit easier. And then you can just chat about whatever. There's a really good book about this, and I'm blanking on what it is. It's by Donald Miller. I think it is How to Grow Your Small Business by Donald Miller. But he chats about this, and he uses an example of a caterer going to parties, and like going in and saying, you know, I make food. It's like building this story about who you are, and it will probably not matter to most of the people that you talk to, and that's totally fine. You can still have a conversation and network with them, but for the 10% that it resonates with, that's what you want to do. So hopefully that makes sense. How to Grow Your Small Business by Donald Miller. I will try to link that in the YouTube down below, so you can go purchase that book. Really good book, and just like how to grow a small business, but it has some really good insight there into like how to do these elevator pitches and how to do the networking. He does it through story. It's not like a specific example, but I think it's very applicable to what you would be trying to do here. You can also find private money lenders through online platforms. There's a bunch out there. If you just like search for private money lending platform, you'll find a dozen of them or more. There's just a ton of them. But what you really need to do here, whether you're doing it through networking or online platforms, is build relationships. This is what, I mean, the entire process of assisted living is about building relationships, whether it's working with lenders, working with the state, working with the city, the fire department, whoever you're working with. It is all about building rapport, building relationships, and being somebody that they enjoy talking to, and not the person that's a jerk that they don't want to talk to. So you want to be nice. You want to build those relationships, because it might not turn into anything today, but in 2, 5, 10 years from now, it could turn into something huge. So build those relationships and have conversations. If it's somebody that you're really interested in building a relationship with, see what you can do to help them, to serve them. That's what's going to make you really stick out in their mind, and make them want to continue working with you. So have a service mindset, is what I would say. There's a book called The Go Giver by Bob Berg. And I'll link that one as well on YouTube. But just an incredible book about giving to people, and it will make a huge difference, in the way that you're interacting with people. You could give gifts to people and stuff like that, really endear people to you. There's a book. Oh, I can't remember. The guy just passed away, and I can't remember his name. But Giftology, I think, is what he talked about. I'll try to link that one as well. But it's you could do gifts, for sure, but if you're strapped for cash and don't have the ability to do that, there are other ways to do this that doesn't cost you a ton of money. But it's all about building relationships and showing people that they matter to you, so that you can, you know, it sounds bad, but so you can get what you want. But you're doing that in a way that is giving back to people, so that they want to give back to you. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't sound like, too sticky of a, of a situation. But building relationships, absolutely key. It's what's going to bring you success in everything that you're going to do here in this industry. I also suggest that you vet people. So as you're going to, you can find, online things that do background checks on people, name-based background checks, and get a feel for who they are. Go look at their social media profiles and get a feel for who they are. Look for reviews if you can find them online. So you want to find all of that stuff. Do a vetting process, and then trust your gut. If your gut says, ugh, this it just doesn't feel right, and I've had that happen to me before when I've worked with lenders, or it's just like, it just feel a little bit queasy when I work with this person. It just makes me feel uneasy. Um, trust your gut, and don't get too caught up in the, yeah, but they're the only one. They're the only one that will work with me. It's not true. I have actually worked with people like that I felt queasy about. I worked with them. I gave them, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, I can't remember, between $5,000 and $20,000 to help me out with funding, with what I thought was a guarantee, and it wasn't. And it was just money that I lost, and I felt uncomfortable when I was starting, and I just moved forward with it anyways because it was the only way I could do it. That was my thought, but it wasn't, and I wasted a bunch of money. So you got to be really, really careful with that. Trust your gut on who you're working with, and just make sure that you feel confident, before you start working with them. And I say that for me as well. Don't just like, oh, Brandon knows what he's doing, I'm going to join his mastermind. Apply to the program. If you want to have questions, talk with me. But my hope is that I make you feel comfortable enough that you could ask me questions, that I would help you out and give you guidance. And that's what I try to do in my mastermind program, is give you that support. Okay, that said, let's get into pitching to a private money lender. A lot of what you're going to do here is a lot of the same things that you are going to do with a traditional lender. So everything that I teach about how to build a business foundation, the core of that. So if you want that, grab the business plan checklist, what's going down on the ticker. Go get the business planning guide as well. It's assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG for business planning guide. Will give you everything you need to build that foundation, as you're trying to move things forward. So you need to have a business plan. You want to have underwriting. Those are two really key things. If you have those, private money lenders may not vet you quite as much as others, but they'll probably want to see your underwriting. They may want to see sections of your business plan, and it's good to have that just in case they ask for it. As you build that foundation, it really everything. Once you build that foundation, everything else that you do gets streamlined. It really does, because of the conversations that you're having, and what you're trying to do. People will ask you questions that are answered in your business plan so you can reference it, or you can just hand it to them and it will answer their questions. So that's why you want to, this helps you get things out of your head, put it on paper, be consistent with it, and gives you a level of confidence that you wouldn't otherwise have. So it's really important for you to build out this business foundation. You also have to, like I was just saying, know when to walk away when it just doesn't feel right, or things they keep making, there's empty promises, or we'll do this, but it's going to take this long, and then the deadline keeps getting pushed back. You It's okay to walk away. There will be, even if you lose that deal, there will be another deal that is just as good the next day. A piece of education that I took, there was a lesson in there. It was called "The Deal of the Decade Comes Around Every Day," or something along those lines. You will find amazing deals and amazing lenders to work with every single day. Don't get caught up in like, this is the only opportunity, this is the only thing that's going to work. Don't get yourself stuck in that hole, because it will put you in a really bad spot. So know when to walk away, and don't get too committed to something if it just doesn't feel right, both on the deal and with the lender. And that goes not just for private money, but that goes for banks, SBA lenders, whoever you're working with. It's okay to walk away. Everything will be fine. I promise. It really will. As far as legal considerations, everything that you do, get in writing. If there's a contract that you're doing with a private money lender, terms, rates, all that stuff, make sure it's in writing, preferably in a signed document, not just in an email. You want to be sure that you are aware of the risks. If you have an attorney, have them review anything that you are doing with a private money lender, or any lender for that matter. You want to make sure that you are understanding of everything that's going into this. Be aware, what risks are there, what happens if I default, what can they go after, what if I have to file for bankruptcy, what does that look like, what is this whole process here. And also, you want to get familiar with the laws. If you're working with private money lenders, what are the laws in your state, because they can vary from state to state. So you want to make sure that you understand exactly what that looks like, so that you don't get yourself in a bad situation. As painful and annoying as it is to work with an attorney and have to pay $500 an hour or whatever their fee is, it will save you so much headache on the back end if you do that. It gives you a level of confidence as you're going into it, and can also help you avoid making big mistakes. So that's something I highly suggest that you work with attorneys, and I think it's worth paying them to help you make some progress along your journey to starting your assisted living business. All right, so that is private money, what it is, how to work with it, and everything there. Let's get into Q&A session. So if there are any questions, please go ahead and type them in. Could be about private money, or could be about anything. Just go ahead and type those. I see we've got a few people here. And while you're typing those up, I want to remind people to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well, so you get notified every time we do these lives. We go live on Tuesdays, put out content on Thursdays as well. To really help you out along your investment journey. Also, make sure you grab the business plan checklist, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, and check out the mastermind program. Again, we're doing a promotion on it right now. You can apply, no obligation to apply, alimastermind.com/application. I will review that, and if I feel like you're a good fit, I'll send you all the details. And if you feel like you need some extra coaching or guidance, or have questions before joining, I'm happy to answer any of those questions, whether it's via email or jumping on a quick call, and we can chat about that. But would love to see if you're a good fit, and if I can help you out in launching your assisted living business. So with that said, I'm not seeing any questions getting chatted in here. We do have a few people, so thanks for being here. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks again for being here. Go grab that free business plan checklist at assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. Oh, wait. Oh, I was on the wrong thing. There is a comment. Ernest says, "Hi, Brandon. Hey, how's it going?" If you have any questions, just type them in. Is this about starting a RAW? Yeah, so I keep saying investment. Is this about starting a RAW? So yeah, this is, so I really like to, the brand that I have here is Assisted Living Investing. I really like to think that this is an investment. It is something that you're putting into. It's a business. goes, but I really like to think that it's like real estate investing with a business attached, and you get to have an impact on people's lives. So you get to make money, and you get to have a positive impact on people. This is all about residential assisted living. Um, I mean, everything that I talk about through the entire process, the assisted living investing process, could go from small care homes to residential homes to big box facilities. The process itself is actually pretty similar throughout, and there's slight variations. There's slight variations from state to state, but overall, the core concept is very similar, and it works across the board. And so yes, we're talking about residential assisted living, but could be any of those other kind of buckets that it falls into. And if I can't help you out, like there's stuff like sober living homes that I'm just not super familiar with, I will point you to the right person, people in my network that I know can really help you out in that space. I'm happy to make those types of connections. But if I know I can help you out, then I will tell you, and I'd love to see if I can help people out. So hopefully that answers your question there. I'll give you a second just in case you have anything that's a follow up. But yeah, just a reminder, go grab your business plan checklist, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, and that will give you something to help you build that foundation and really make things just a little more streamlined for you. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Ernest. Thanks for being here. All right, with that said, I think we are done. Thanks everybody for watching. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, I'm here to help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. I love helping and coaching people, and would love to see if I can help you out. So go check out the mastermind program, alimastermind.com/application. I would love to see your application and see if I can help you out in your journey. And apart from that, thanks for watching. And remember, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going step by step by step. And I promise you that if you do and you're consistent and persistent, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Yeah, Ernest, go ahead and you can do that application, or go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/contact. On my website, you can contact me there. So just reach out in one of those two spots and we can chat. I'll put that here in the comment. Livinginvesting.net/contact. So if you just go there, there's a form. You can fill it out and send it to me, and then we can chat there. So yeah, thanks everybody, and we will talk to you next week.